Welcome to Tube Talk, where I'll be interviewing either virtually or in person content creators in the hope to learn more about the people that we subscribe to and we follow on YouTube. My first guests are a young family that started travelling in 2018. They left as two and now there's five. They now travel with a 3-year-old, an 18-month-old and a 7-week-old. Meet Nick and Elnick, Elnick Adventures. Hope you enjoy. Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, you too.
And welcome to my first Tube Talk.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, it's so cool. Sort of, as I said in the message, it's an idea that I've been floating around with for a couple of years, and yeah, a number of you guys have inspired me to actually have a crack at it. So why not?
Yeah, we thought it's a great idea.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, cool. So where are you guys right now?
We're still in Port Macquarie, so our hometown.
Okay, on the coast.
Yeah, on the coast. Yeah.
Yeah, better.
Oh, East Coast. Yeah, just 4 hours north of Sydney.
Yeah, I know Port Macquarie. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, just here till Tuesday, and then we'll take off again.
And where to next?
We don't really know.
Yeah.
Oh,
we don't.
really?
Yeah, we sort of pick a rough route and just follow our nose and go wherever the wind takes us, sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things I was really curious about. Is like, how do you guys actually plan where you're going to go next? Do you wake up one morning and sort of wet your finger and put it in the breeze, or do you read something, or does somebody? How does it work?
Well, I don't know. Well, we sort of have an idea. So we know we're going south.
Are you going south? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I would like
direction. We know a direction.
Yeah. I really want to do the Blue Mountains, and I really want to do Great Ocean Road.
Oh, so you haven't done the Great Ocean Road yet?
No,
Oh, wow.
we haven't done anything south just yet, have we?
No.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so yeah, we just go off wiki camps, and if we see a cool camp or something close to us, then we'll head there.
Yeah, right. So interesting. Yeah. I read this morning you guys have been on the road since 2018. Is that right? Have I got that right?
Yeah.
So how did that happen? Like, did you guys just wake up one morning and kick him in the ribs, or tap you on the shoulder? Tapped you on the shoulder to go somewhere, Nick. But
yeah, pretty well. Like it's pretty a hectic time in our lives. We're sort of working pretty hard and a few things going on. We're sort of just finished building our first house together. Yeah. And we sort of looked at each other one night in bed and said, screw this pretty well, pardon the French. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then it just went from there.
Yeah, we were doing long hours. Like, Nick's a builder.
Yeah.
And I'm a nurse, so I was in uni, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Uni doing my nursing but working at the hospital at the same time. And then we were like, Nick actually built our house. So
yeah. How many houses have you built, Nick?
Oh, a few. Oh, for ourselves, or
just in general.
Well, I started out my trade as a commercial carpenter, so I did a lot of mid-rise, sort of high-rise stuff, and then later on, I sort of went on to houses. But probably myself. I can't remember. There's too many.
I'm actually in the building industry myself, so I kind of have a bit of a soft spot for a building industry comment, especially right now, mate. You wouldn't want to be building a house for love nor money.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty. I think yeah,
that's why he's retired.
Oh, you're retired. So you're saying you'll never go back on the tools, or you'll never go back into building houses for clients?
I think if I was to do it, I would build them and sell them. I don't know if I would necessarily build. Yeah. Or yeah, I try not to deal with clients. Later on, we had a break, or not a break from traveling, but when Finney was born, and actually worked for another builder as like a supervisor, and I like that. Yeah, just dealing with clients sometimes, you know how it is.
Well, yeah. I kind of do. My wife looks after our builders' clients when they come in and do their selections, and they can. I would say 60 to 70% are really easy and they're good to work with, but then you've got that 30 or 40% that are quite difficult. I'm being as diplomatic as I can because that's how I make my living. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and so Lenya, you're a nurse. So what sort of
Yeah.
nursing, like midwifery or my daughter's a
No,
nurse. So
yeah, registered nurse. So
Yep.
started off in the hospital, but a lot since we've been traveling aged care.
oh
It's easy,
wow.
yeah, it's easy to get in, and well, there's work everywhere for nurses. So yeah, it was easy because normally on the road we'll only do a couple of months.
Oh, so you actually are working while you're traveling.
Yeah, we stop when we need to, and we'll pick up work, either Nick or myself, because obviously someone's got to look after the kids, unfortunately.
Or,
And
or Nick can work or you can work and Nick can
Yeah.
be a stay-at-home. Three's a
Yeah.
handful, though.
oh, I'll work.
Yeah. It's easier to work than look after the kids, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Hey, so talking about your kids, so have you thought about like it's probably what 2 or 3 years before you start schooling your kids? Like, are you going to put roots down, or are you going to school them on the road?
I don't know.
I think we'll at least the first couple of years will be school on the road, I think. Yeah.
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 Interesting fact. Well, and don't quote me if I've got this exactly right, but I read something this week that people like you guys that have got family on the road and schooling their kids on the road, virtually, now equal the same amount of number of nomads on the road.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've got that information correct. So let's say there's 50,000 nomads or 50,000 nomad vans on the road. Well, you guys as families with kids on the road now equal them.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Crazy to think.
Well, that's an interesting question I wanted to ask you guys. So if you've been on the road since 2018, so through COVID and all the rest of it, how has it changed? So is there has there been a quantum shift from the way it was on the road in 18 as opposed to the way it's on the road in 2023? Like, what's other than the cost of diesel, what's been the what's been the main big differences?
I'd say you see a lot more families now, obviously.
Yeah, especially on that coast.
Yeah, we found the coast, like along the eastern coast, has been really busy, like especially caravan parks and places like that. And then, if you sort of go to the more off-grid places, especially in some of the not well-known off-grid places, they haven't been that busy.
No, we didn't see when we did the Gulf recently. I don't think we saw a family.
Oh wow!
Per,
yeah,
easy a month, yeah.
So I'd say like certain bits of Australia have gotten much busier, but then sort of the off-grid sort of section of it, or like the places not as well known or not as travelled, haven't been busy at all. Really, we've found. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And and have you guys do you ever talk about life after on the road? Like, or just
we try not to think about it.
Fair enough. Live the dream while you can, right?
Honestly, we were speaking about it today actually in the car.
Yeah.
And we said we just don't know how we'll ever stop and settle down.
Yeah.
I think there'll come a point where we have to for the kids.
Yeah.
I still think there's going to be traveling mixed in with that. I don't think we'll ever stop.
No. God, no.
So as I think, I'm not too sure whether I actually put this in my notes here or not, but I'm a newbie to this content creating. I'm a newbie to social media. Clearly, I'm a newbie to YouTube, right? So what's your social media journey? I mean, how did you guys start? How did you fall into YouTube, and how did you, with the other social media platforms? Who's the geek out of the two? Or you're both geeks? Nick.
I do the editing the first rough sort of stage of editing, and then we both sit down together, go through it, and Elnick says critiques me.
But my wife's the same, so if I've got any footage of her doing stuff, she looks at me and she goes, you can't put that in.
Yeah, that actually is not good.
100%. That's and what about so are you self-taught with YouTube?
Yeah, so we started originally we started probably a year ago full time now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we started just to
For ourselves.
yeah, we sort of found that we had all these pictures and videos of us doing stuff.
Yeah.
And we sort of forget about them, and they got pushed to a side. So we started making movies.
Yep.
But for the kids to look back on, and us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just sort of went from there.
So you guys only sort of loaded up on YouTube a year ago, or roughly a year ago.
Yeah, January.
Oh,
January last year now. Yeah, January 2022.
Yeah.
And you cracked your 10,000 subscribers. That's great effort.
Yeah, we've been very lucky.
Yeah, and we've had some lovely, comments and all that sort of thing, which is really nice.
No, so cool. My wife's just got back actually. She's been down to Adult Wonderland. They can't hear you, so I've got to.
Hello.
Hello, how you going?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's so awesome to meet you guys. I absolutely love watching you guys every week.
You feel as if you kind of know them, mate.
You do, and I'm awesome cook.
No. Thank you.
The carrot cake is still my favourite.
The carrot cake was very fun.
Oh, God. Yeah,
you'll be happy to know our friends and I were sitting here one night after a fair few wines and we're watching that and we're absolutely losing. We thought it was really funny. And you ate it.
I know. I thought it was a bit presented a bit weirdly at first, but
he has a stomach of steel.
Yeah, you get used to it after a while.
Yeah, he's got one of those too.
So does Harry from Fire to Fork? Is there any risk of him sort of being knocked off his mantle, Lenia, as far as you're coming? 100%. So there's a book coming out.
I'm expecting a book. Yeah.
Everyone wants a book.
Yeah.
I'll put you back.
Do you know? Okay.
So you can keep talking.
Okay, ciao. So Harry's just put something up. Apparently he's starting to write up his next book. So he'll have a second book out in the market probably next year.
Yeah, right.
Do you guys follow him or not?
Yeah, just recently we started getting into him. Yeah. But it's hard. Yeah, it is hard to watch everyone too because we're pretty busy.
Yeah. I mean, like I reckon we subscribe to only 20, and I've sort of capped it at 20. So some drop off and some come on, and like I'm saying, I'm just a nuffy. I'm just a newbie. So it's all more about. I started following YouTube. Like, here's another fun fact: that YouTube is the second biggest search engine behind Google for how-tos.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't surprise me. When we can't find something, we always YouTube it.
Yeah. And that's how I started. Actually, it was to do. Funnily enough, to follow you, I followed your same sort of journey, and that was we've been sort of traveling, in one way, shape, or form since we've known each other for the last 10 years, and we've got all these photos and videos sitting on a hard drive, and I thought, well, how can I make like an electronic photo album, if you like, and chatting to a mate, and he says, "Oh, you need to get onto Adobe Pro Premiere." And I said, "What's that?" So that's how my journey started, right? And it's really interesting that I took the counsel of the guy that I bought my camera from, and he come and sort of coached me for a little bit how to. He got me started to using Adobe Pro, and then since then I've become a YouTube Nazi. Whenever I need to know something, let's go straight on there, right?
Yeah.
And what platform do you guys use to do your editing?
So when we first started, we're actually doing it off an iPad, just iMovie.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we moved to a laptop on iMovie, and about midway through last year, we switched to DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, okay. Yep. I started with DaVinci, and that scared me more than Adobe Pro. When you open up the screen, looks like you're gonna fly a bloody aeroplane.
Pretty close to it. It's like anything. Once you get used to it, it's not too bad.
Yeah. So also what validated my idea to is to meet you guys virtually, and I've reached out to another half a dozen couple a couple on the East Coast, one in Darwin, and I've got a couple of face-to-faces in Perth over the next month. But what also sort of, I guess, validated my idea was I went to a four-wheel drive show here, probably a four-wheel drive and camping show probably 3 months ago. And have you guys been to Perth?
No, not yet.
Okay, we'll clearly put that on your radar. But where they have it, you walk into the main gate, and if you veer left, you follow your nose, and all of a sudden there's this explosion of a corner of this particular park, and there was more content creators than not. There was just like there was wall to wall content creators, right?
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable. So you guys don't do that as yet, or have you thought about actually a pop up at a four wheel drive show? Or
yeah, we've thought about it. Yeah.
I kid you not. I kid you not. At this four wheel drive show, now I'm going to undercook this. I reckon there was 25, maybe 30 content creators, and there was the half a dozen of the of the A graders, and then there's the balance were B and C graders, but they're all aspiring content creators to do what you guys are doing, right? Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Never thought about it.
Yeah, we like it's hard too because
The boys.
obviously the boys are pretty full on to if one of us is talking to someone, the other one has to be looking after the boys and vice versa. That makes sense because we don't have anyone to look after them. And it's getting to be in places at the right time too, with that sort of thing. But yeah, we are looking into it in this next coming year to start doing a bit more of that stuff and meeting a few people that follow us. Yeah.
So this is going to be like creating content, putting all your stuff up on socials, attracting patrons. Is this how you guys intend to make a living?
Yeah.
Honest answer. I love it. Yeah.
Well, honestly, like at the end of the day, we've always said to each other, and we continually check in with each other. Once it starts not being fun or we're not ourselves, we're going to end it. Like it's not why we're doing it.
Yeah, it's still we got to still find it fun and exhilarating, I think,
because a lot of work goes into it, so we have to enjoy it.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
No, you're right.
Sorry. So when you say a lot of work goes into it, do you mean collecting the content or doing the editing or all the work in general, all that encapsulated in one?
Yeah. So like a lot, like it's like anything, a lot goes into it. But like most nights we're sitting up till 10 o'clock at night, editing and doing everything, like replying to people and doing the Facebook and Instagram. Yeah,
it's pretty full on, eh? I mean, I don't think a lot of people actually understand the work that does go behind the scenes to produce a 30-minute vid. Depending on how much footage is in there, and you've got to cut and dice it and dissolve it and merge it and all the rest of it. There's an awful lot of work. So I guess the hourly rate would be pretty poor, but what you produce is pretty good, right? At the end of it, you sort of pat yourself in the back. Now I sort of turned, a pig's ear into a silk purse. All this. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. What do you call it? Job satisfaction.
Yeah. Random question, Nick. So on the fly, and this is to digress a bit, I guess, but just before I forget, what's your rooftop tinny and the rack weigh collectively?
So we actually don't have a rack, and I built it that way into the canopy. So there's 40x40 aluminium tube that comes from the canopy base all the way to make the rack. So I got all that sort of encapsulated in the canopy.
Yeah.
But the boat probably weighs around probably 70 kilos.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been able to get a handle on the dinghies, but there's so many different rooftop configurations. And again, once you start YouTubing it, you end up down rabbit warrens and you end up looking at all right. So I'm just trying to see one that I go, that's basic enough, because I drive a Fortuner and I'm trying to, I guess, when we retire, keep the Fortuner. And I know how much weight it can carry, but I guess I'm trying to look at the the perfect scenario. You know, the lightest rack system that's a rooftop as well as the dinghy, right?
Yeah, I think it is hard with weights, especially if you're towing.
Yeah.
We just got weighed last week, and we only just scraped in with axle
Really?
weights, which what a lot of people sort of don't or
Yep.
forget about is the axle weights,
Yep.
especially the rear car.
Yeah.
So I'd probably get car weighed before we put a rooftop on, because it changes a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
To the point where when we
I'll
were
change
weighed,
the
we
car.
went. Well, yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I'm definitely.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
Look, I think it's a game changer as far as it's. We're not going to travel without a rooftop dinghy. It's as simple as that, which is an absolute must. While we're talking about your tools and or your toys and stuff, what's your kit like as far as what your camera gear? What are you running with? GoPros, drones?
Yeah, so we like just everything's GoPro. We do have a Canon. No, Nikon, but it's the GoPro is just easy, you know what I mean? They're small, like can take it, you know, the kids pick it up, they can take a bit of a beating. Yeah, so we've got 4 GoPros sort of on the go now.
Ranging from what to what?
So we got 11, 10, and then 2 9s.
Oh, okay, cool. And you find that 4 is plenty. So do the 9s have a battery you can take out?
Yeah, they all do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got a 7 and you can't, but I got a 7. Okay. I got a 7 and a 10. But it's interesting you say that about the Nikon. If I had my time again, I would not have bought the Canon M50 because you're dead right. These GoPros are something else. And mobile phones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and your drone, what sort of drone you got?
We've actually got 2. We've got a Mavic Pro 2 and then a little mini.
Oh, so they're both Mavics.
Yeah. Both DJI.
DJI. And so did you start with the same 2, or have you lost a few and damaged a few? Or look at Leilani smiling.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't lost more.
Yeah, it's sort of we've crashed a few times. We started out with the Mavic Pro.
Yeah.
Then we changed to the Mavic 2 Pro. But yeah, we've crashed it a few times. We've gone out of range a couple of times.
Yeah.
But we've never lost one, or never touched a bit of wood. We've never lost one, so which is good.
So I bought my drone probably 18 months ago, and this guy talked me into, and he convinced me to get an insurance policy when I bought it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So 6 months after I bought that first drone, I had to retrieve it from about 4 feet of fresh water. So I dropped it into a river.
No.
You know, but this insurance paid out. It cost me $100 and I got a brand new drone.
Oh,
geez, that's all right. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So I don't know. So some of the content creators I follow, they're so, I guess, mad with their drones, right? I think that's $1,000 drone, man. I was just, when you've lost one, you're a bit more apprehensive about flying too close to.
Yeah. The 2's got plenty of sensors on
it. Yeah, but not in reverse, mate.
True.
And that's how I dropped mine. So yeah, trying to pick out a Steven Spielberg scene and backed it into a tree and dropped into the drink. Yeah. So Patreons, I know. What are your guys' thoughts on Patreons? I mean, I don't understand it. Do you guys have Patreons, and what's your thoughts on the Patreon community?
Yeah, we initially we weren't sure on it. And we didn't know, we were weighing up whether to do it or not, or then we got a heap of people message asking if we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we should look into it.
Yeah.
And since we've had it, do you know what? Like, our Patreons, they're amazing. It's like a close-knit community.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Sort of gives you that chance to have a know people a bit more that are supporting you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, because it's hard, everyone sort of knows us, but we don't know everyone.
Yeah,
So
100%.
Patreon's a great way to do that and offer something
More.
like the Patreons have input into some of our decisions and
Oh, really?
everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a big thing, like with our merch line.
I bought a hat,
we-
by the way. I should put it
Oh.
there. I bought one of your hats.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you.
Yeah.
It's more like,
It's a bit more personalized, I think.
Yeah.
A bit more personal. Yeah.
And what about brand ambassadors and I guess influencers? Has that evolved and has that developed since you guys have been more active on YouTube and cracked the 10,000 subscribers and all the views that you get?
yes, but
Yeah.
again, we want to travel, we want to do our thing. I think if you get caught too much, well, for us, we don't really want to do too much. We're open to it.
Yeah.
We're just
I
we
think,
don't want to
yeah.
lose ourselves in just trying to promote and other people and lose our sense of traveling, I guess.
Yeah.
No, good on you. And again, I watched some guy last weekend, and he talked about the algorithm beast, and he talked about the how it becomes so seductive, and he talked about getting to a point where you end up selling your soul, and you actually lose sight of the reason why you're doing what you're doing, and it becomes a revenue stream. There's no other reason for doing. And I found it a really interesting interview. So hence I thought I'd ask the question. So thanks for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
go on.
Oh, I was just saying, I think like for us, because we got consumed a little while ago, and you keep thinking, why aren't we getting views? You know what I mean? All that stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what this guy said, right?
Yeah, and I think
30,000 viewers, so 30,000 subscribers. He's now taking himself off it because he got filled with anxiety because people aren't watching or whatever the case may be.
Oh, you do, and then you're just constantly looking at your what are they called, statistics and all that. And then I think one day we just said, no, this is enough. It's not what we started doing it for, and took a step back. And ever since then, it's sort of grown, if that makes sense. Like,
we're enjoying it.
You start enjoying doing it again, and then I think your subscribers and followers grow from that.
Yeah. I mean, because part of the reason why we follow you guys is you're so bloody authentic. And I think, I think the moment people lose that, viewers can see it. You can sense it. The moment you start losing that sense of authenticity, or however you say it, it begins a bit diluted, right?
Yeah. There's no staging with us. We don't have time to stage anything.
No, 3 kids. Good effort.
We're just 2 idiots with a camera, pretty well.
So how did you two guys meet each other?
Well, it's a long story, but we're childhood sweethearts.
Nice.
I actually moved from England when I was 13 with my family.
Right.
And Nick's sort of been in Port Macquarie his whole life.
Yeah.
And I saw Nick on the first day of school in Year 8, and
it was all over.
It was all over, mate. And Nick, you clearly about above your average, brother.
Yeah, I know. Especially with the one going on here.
Yeah, I've got one too, brother. I hear you loud and clear. I'm about above my average. Hey guys, thank you so much for giving me some of your time. And as I said to you guys, by messenger, it's just an idea that I've got. I think it's an opportunity to give your viewers and my database, I suppose, or my subscribers a different look at who you guys are, a different slant. Thank you so much. And we'll continue to follow you guys as we do, and due for some. I saw your hat last night, the one when you picked up your camera. That's a much nicer hat than the one that I got. So
oh yeah, we've just made some new designs and all that. Yeah.
I'll definitely get myself. So actually, I've got a bit of a fetish, and that is I collect peaks. So
we'll have to send you one.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. So nice to meet you guys.
Yeah,
you
you too.
too.
Thanks for having us, and it's such a great idea.
Thank you so much. Okay, thanks again.
Good luck with everything.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
See
Yeah,
ya.
Uru, bye. Bye.
So I hope you enjoyed the Elnick story as much as I enjoyed catching up with these guys virtually. If there's any content creators that you think would be interested in having an interview with myself, please reach out to either them or let me know, and I'll reach out to them and we can see how we go. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. Uru for now.